Hello everyone, welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, and today we've got 5 amazing decks for you. All of them hit day 1 infinite. Actually, we've got 6 decks because we're going to sort of double up on Surfer. But we've got all these great decks for you, stats for a bunch of them. Day 1 infinite decks, use these to climb, use these to hit infinite. If you're already infinite, these are the real deal. We're kicking it off with our friend Ika MTS on Twitch. He is one of the most brilliant deck builders in the game. He's easily the most prolific meta shaper in the game, and he has come up with the Ika Move Girl. This is a Move Moon Girl list that is really, really cool. You can find Ika at twitch.tv/Ika_MTS. Once more, please make sure you check him out. He shapes the meta more than anyone. If you saw that Sarah Invisible Woman deck that was everywhere last season, that's an Ika build. The Hellion version of the Scream deck, that's an Ika build. He is, again, the most prolific deck builder in Marvel Snap. Like 3 to 5 times per season, he will absolutely crack things wide open. This deck needs Hydra Stomper, Batrock, and Sam Wilson. You are required to have those 3 cards for this deck. Surge and Mr. Fantastic are important, but not required. Jeff and Juggernaut are reasonable replacements. Eventually, Ika got sick of losing to Mobius, so Surge became Rogue, so you can also make that change. And if you don't have Hydra Bob, feel free to run Nightcrawler. You want that on-demand move to get yourself a cheap Miles Morales. All right. Let's talk. So Sunspot is here because you will often skip turn 5. If you're skipping turn 5, you get that 1/6 Sunspot, great stats, and any extra incidental energy is just really nice. That is obviously very nice with She-Hulk. Batrock, of course, makes Sunspot often look downright tiny by comparison, being up to a 112 if you play Sam Wilson immediately after Batrock and can manage your board space. Just incredible power in that card. Those are the ones you want to play early. You will play Hydra Bob early, but you're not in any special rush to. The reason to play Hydra Bob early is if you don't see Sam Wilson or Silk, when you end up skipping on turn 5, you want to make sure that, especially if you have double Miles Morales, that you can play 2 1/6s on the last turn. You can play Hydra Bob early, and you can use your snap on that skip turn to move Hydra Bob to make the Miles Morales is cheaper. Outside of that, though, generally speaking, having 2 1/4s is still pretty damn solid for Moon Girl. Next up, we have Mr. Fantastic. His +2 power is absolutely insane. I think everyone was going crazy about the -1 cost, including me, but the +1 power to a card in hand is just really nice. Knowing that you have that extra card that your opponent can't play around, that more stats than it looks like, is really good. If Hydra Bob's a 1/6, if Miles Morales is a 1/8, that kind of thing really does change the math of the game, let alone if you just get a -1 on a key card, and all of a sudden you're able to play it extra with Moon Girl. Really powerful stuff. Surge is doing the same thing as Mr. Fantastic, although less predictable, less controllable, still very, very useful. Surge remains one of the better cards in the game. I think right now Fantastic First Steps is just a better card, but Mr. Fantastic and Surge do the same basic thing. Sam Wilson is part of a huge package in this list. He is the most important piece. Games where you see Sam Wilson early will feel totally different than games where you don't. If you see Sam Wilson, Batrock basically becomes a 112. You can, at that point, be hitting Sam to make him a 2/6, hitting Kraven every turn, and each of those moves is going to make Miles Morales cheaper and make Hydra Stomper bigger. Kraven also synergizes with Batrock in the same way, moving the shield, moving Hydra Bob, and of course Silk being just a standard really big card. And all these moves give Kraven +2, but they also give Hydra Stomper +1. The difference is that Hydra Stomper isn't ongoing, so it can just be played late in sort of whatever way you want. I do tend to like to try and get Hydra Stomper out reasonably early. He just develops power over the course of the game. Silk is, again, your backup, like, extra move. She's sort of your backup Sam Wilson. You don't always want both of them, but she does end up being, in particular, really, really big for Hydra Stomper. Moon Girl, you would very much like to close the game with double She-Hulk or Miles Morales, and Moon Girl gives you the easy access to that play. Miles Morales is a 1/6, you want 2 of those. She-Hulk, if you skip a turn, generally a 1/10, you want 2 of those too. And then you should be able to win because you have a lot of early power scalers, and then you have these late power scalers that your opponent just cannot account for, especially given the changes that Surge and Mr. Fantastic give to the deck. Alright, so Ika hit Crossed Infinite, going 18-5, which is a 78% win rate, plus 45 cubes. That is an absurd 2 cubes, almost 2 cubes per game. We will look at an even better win and cube rate than that in this video. It's going to be later in the video. I'm not going to tell you when, sorry. But we have an absolutely insane win rate later in this video with an absolutely insane cube rate. I can't wait to show it to you. Turn 1, you want Batrock or Sunspot over Hydra Bob. Turn 2 is Sam Wilson over Surge or Fantastic. Generally speaking, I lean Fantastic. Over Silk over Kraven. Turn 3 is usually a 2/1. Sometimes we'll play Stomper. Turn 4, we're going Moon Girl or a 2/2. Turn 5, we're passing if She-Hulk. If not, we're going to go 3+2. This is a good Stomper turn. Then turn 6, She-Hulk, Miles, Stomper, some combo of cards like that. And then you should be able to win because everything scales up and works stupidly well together. There is a slight bit of anti-synergy sometimes with Moon Girl and the move stuff, but assuming you see Sam Wilson, assuming your opponent plays in a Silk Lane, or you have a Hydra Bob Snap, you should be able to go over the top of most of the mid-range decks in the meta with this really, really powerful list. Huge props to Ika, as always, for once more coming with a really cool and unique way to crack the meta. Please, before we go forward, hit that sub button if you're willing to. We do our best to bring you a Marvel Snap video every single day, as in we haven't missed a day in over 2.5 years. So if you want the most Marvel Snap content of absolutely anyone, please hit that sub, leave a like, and comment. Your like and comment also enter you to win Mr. Fantastic First Steps, assuming you're subbed. We'll tell you what comment to leave later this video. Your comment, as long as you are subbed and like, enters you to win Mr. Fantastic every video this week. So if this is your first one, make sure you check out the other videos this week, because every video has its own season pass given away in the comments. I'll announce that at the end of the week. Next up, we got Eggy's Merge move. This is the one that's the thumbnail deck. The thumbnail deck is fundamentally always the second deck. This one seems completely wild. I'm dying to try it. I have not had a chance yet. You recorded the podcast tonight, recording this super late. I haven't had any time to play, thanks to my own merge move around the world. But this one is super duper cool. Eggy is absolutely on fire. He's a 15-year-old Asian player who just is absolutely completely dominant in Marvel Snap. He won the most recent Pride tournament and is just constantly coming up with these really, really distinct and unique brews that are coming to the top of the metagame. So another just brilliant deck builder, another Marvel Snap prodigy, along with Dark Razor, the 15-year-old who was number 1 on the Infinite leaderboard last season. And of course, we have our old friend Zunes, who I believe is 16 now and has been number 1 on the Infinite leaderboard 2 different times as well. So we've got a lot of amazing teenagers in Marvel Snap, so props to them. Alright, so you can find Eggy at twitch.tv/121Eggy. This deck needs every high series card. Phoenix Source, Frigga, Nico, Lasher, and Penny. Sorry. Penny is the most important card in the list. I know that seems weird, but she is. Alright, so you have multiple game plans here. Game plan 1 is very simple, right? You want to destroy, ideally, multiple men. If you can destroy multiple men, bring it back with Phoenix Source, move it around, use Ghost Spider and Doctor Strange. That wins almost every game Marvel Snap. It's very simple. Outside of that, though, you can use Penny's Spider and Hulkbuster himself in order to get really, really big multiple men that you can move around the board. You can get extra copies of that and Human Torch with Frigga, which is another extremely powerful place to end up. Those two plays are completely backbreaking, right? You get a Human Torch, you play a Hulkbuster, it's a 5, right? If you're able to Doctor Strange that, if you're able to Ghost Spider and then Doctor Strange that, you now have a 20 power card. Venom it, Frigga, win the game. That kind of thing. Or you can do the Destroy Human Torch, right? Bring that back with Phoenix Force and then spend turn 5 frigging it, and now you have a second giant Human Torch along with Ghost Spider, Doctor Strange at the end of the game to win things. You can also, of course, just play multiple man, right? Play Hulkbuster on multiple men, then Ghost Spider that. Then you can drop Penny Spider on it, and you can move it that way. Then you can drop Doctor Strange and move it another way. That's great. You also, of course, have Lasher, which is you can kill and make a nice 7 power Lasher with Phoenix Force. That's a 14 power play. Works out perfectly well. Just don't use the activate too soon, right? That works amazingly. You can Frigga that too for a double 14 power play. You can use Lasher just as a regular card. Hulkbuster with Lasher is great. Spider with Lasher is great. All these things really do synergize together. And of course, Nico, as usual, is the card that pulls the room together. You can use it to destroy cards and draw to see all your pieces. You can use it to make copies of key cards. You can use it to give +2 power or move where necessary. So this is our most original brew of the day, right? So I would expect this to be a real challenge for a lot of people to play, but if you like Phoenix Force, if you like high level play, this is going to be for you. Turn 1, we want to play Nico if we have the Destroy. We can also end up copying multiple men once in a while. Torch if Destroy or Phoenix Force. Turn 2, Penny equals multiple man. Do you have a Destroy? Play multiple man. Do you have a Phoenix Force? Play multiple man to start getting ready. If not, you're going to drop Penny. And if not, either of those, you can drop Lasher. You can also do random Torch shenanigans. You can drop a Hulkbuster on Torch if you're going to have a good play for that. Turn 3, you want to destroy Torch, multiple man, or Lasher. If you have Phoenix Force, if not, you're going to get a buff on multiple man, or drop multiple man, or Lasher, and move stuff. Turn 4, if we got Phoenix, we're snapping it. Text in white means it almost auto snap. Text in green means a snap pending certain situations. We can also buff a move card, buff and move a card, and or drop Frigga. If let's say we did the Torch into Hulkbuster into move, we can now into move Venom. We can now Frigga, or move Carnage. We can now Frigga that and get really big cards going. Turn 5, we want Multi-Man Torch with Spider or Hulkbuster. Or we can Frigga whatever we want with Hulkbuster. We basically want to play Hulkbuster on a card on turn 5 for 2, and then we can Frigga the card that just got Hulkbuster, which is really nice. Turn 6, we play some move cards, and we should be able to win. We replay cards. This one is, again, completely original. I've seen nothing like this. I think this one is an absolute blast. And props to Eggy for giving our good friend Jet some challenge on the Phoenix Force crown. Step up, Jet. Next up, please check out a stream. I won't be streaming for about a week, but I should be live again next Friday at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. I'll be moving next Tuesday night, so I'm flying. It's like a 24-hour flight, so I'll be flying until basically Thursday, and then Thursday I've got to move into the new place, get everything set up. I am planning fully to try and have a stream that Friday night. If you're interested, please do try and check it out at twitch.tv/PulseGlazer. In addition, we got another deck. We have a Fantastic Card deck, apparently Fantastic Car's main home. So our friend Safety Blade swears Fantastic Car is really good in small good cards. He has a small good cards brew that he likes Fantastic Car. Fine. We'll revisit that later. But for now, we have a Day 1 Infinite from Snap Orange using Evolutionary. In my opinion, in my experience, the Evolutionary decks have been the best home for Fantastic Car. So the reason for that we'll go through momentarily, but you can find Snap Orange on Twitter at ZChengCheng with an underscore between them, where he releases some really, really cool decks. This deck only really needs High Evo. Surge or Fantastic can be Shocker. Fantastic Car can be Gwenpool or Moongirl. Obviously, that's worse. Bruce can be Armor. Alright, so end of turn cards, right? We have Misty. We have Mr. Fantastic. We have She-Hulk, although shouldn't happen. Cyclops, and then Hulk and Red Hulk. So that's 6 cards. Let's say we get 3 out. We are now playing a 4/13. We're perfectly happy to play a 4/13, especially as it spreads power reasonably well. That's the value of Fantastic Car here. Is it amazing? No, it's still pretty damn good, though. Sunspot is here because if Mr. Fantastic or Surge hit any of Red Hulk, She-Hulk, or if we play Magic, we are passing either turn 5 or turn 6. As we pass those cards, Sunspot gets big. That is also obviously extra energy. It's an evolutionary deck. So Misty Knight and Cyclops are end of turn triggers that get extra power for that ability, right? They get extra power for us skipping with extra energy, and then they're also buffed by Fantastic Car, making them real lane-winning threats. Bruce will keep all the buffs that happen while he is from either Fantastic Car or Cyclops. Sorry, from Fantastic Car or Misty Knight, which is pretty nice. Once he's turned into the Hulk, he won't get buffed by Fantastic Car anymore, but hey, you're pretty happy to take that anyway. Mr. Fantastic is unbelievably good in basically every deck. Making things cheaper so that you can get that extra energy for the Misty and Sunspot is amazing. Getting She-Hulk, Red Hulk, or Hulk cheaper is amazing. Surge is your backup plan for that. Magic lets you, if you don't get the right negatives, lets you skip turn 6 and then go She-Hulk and Hulk or Red Hulk. And then, of course, Cyclops just ends up playing as like a 3/7, 3/8, sometimes more than that in power. That's the deck, right? This one's absolutely wild. Super, super power to this one. All right. So Day 1 Infinite, rank 23 in the world. Turn 1 is either one. Turn 2, you want Fantastic over Surge over Bruce. Turn 3, we'll happily drop Boost. We can also still drop Fantastic or Surge over Cyclops or Magic. Turn 4, now I usually want to get Cyclops or Magic out. If not, we can play Fantastic Car. Turn 5, we're going Magic and a 1-drop, or we can play Fantastic Car. We're going to skip if we can play She-Hulk and one of the Hulks. Turn 6, we're either skipping or going She-Hulk and one of the Hulks. That's it. This one's really, really straightforward. This is almost the opposite of the last deck. If you like straightforward decks where all you have to do is remember pass with extra energy, play powerful cards, drop massive points, and win, this deck is for you. It's very strong. It's very consistent. It's like this is about as good as Evolutionary has been. Fantastic Art is really useful for this deck. I know people generally shouldn't buy it. I don't love how much they made Marvel's Now cost. Please check yesterday's video if you want my whole rant on this. I don't want to give that rant every single day. But Fantastic Art is pretty damn good in this list. Reed Richards, meanwhile, the new Mr. Fantastic is unbelievable in almost every deck that he's good in, that he goes in. Next up, our Season Pass question. Which deck in this video is best? We've looked at 3 decks so far. We have 2 more to go. All right, next up, we got the Fudge Fantastic Surfer. This is from our friend Elephant Fudge. I promised you a deck that had a crazy win rate and crazy cube rate. This one is it. I went and found Fudge and was like, what the hell is this deck? What is with the stats? The stats on this are completely bonkers. We'll get there soon. This looks, to me, to all the world, like a standard Surfer, but it sure is dominant. You can find Fudge at twitch.tv/elephantfudge, where he streams all the time, usually late at night, but not exclusively. This deck needs Fenris, Gladiator, Gwenpool, and Galacta. Hope can be Lunar, Fastos. You do want that extra ramp, though. Red Guardian can be Rogue. They do the same basic thing. Surge or Fantastic can be Herbie or Forge. Fantastic is very important. Surge is kind of important. If you would like another version, Roram also hit Infinite with the Surfer. He has 76% win rate in 29 games. This is the Roram Surfer. I didn't want to give you 2 Surfer decks in one day. That felt like cheating on the premise of the video, especially because we had a different Surfer list yesterday. Roram named this, if I was Heart of the Cards, this is what he would be playing. So this one feels really good. I don't know what the hell Zemo's doing. I guess Zemo's kind of okay with Absorbing Man. But yeah, this is just another cool Surfer list. Fundamentally, you're trying to basically use Absorbing Man to brood with Brood or Surfer, but you'll hit whatever else you need to. Surge and Fantastic, getting Absorbing Man down to 3 is incredible. Gwenpool is amazing right now. I don't know, this one seems really weird to me, but hey, props to Roram, the winner of Golden Gauntlet 2, for this deck. The deck we're actually talking about is Fudge's Fantastic Surfer. So we have Mr. Fantastic and Surge as our way to just try and get our Galacta and Gwenpool 1 cheaper. That is fundamentally the use here. If you can get either of them cheaper, you're probably going to win that game, unless the opponent's doing like negative combo stuff. Fenris Wolf is around you generally a turn 5 play. You have 2 cards that really can trigger Fenris Wolf, Gladiator and Gambit. You don't need to play it if you're not going to be able to use those cards, but Gambit gives you this big high roll to win almost no matter what, and Gladiator is an amazing on-curvish 3. So Gambit is an end game play, generally speaking, unless your hand is absolute garbage, while Gladiator is like an early to mid-game play, so you should know if you have a Fenris Wolf target relatively early. Brood is the only power surfer card here. We usually run 2 or 3 of like, here's a Sage, here's a Captain Carter. No, just Brood here. So Brood is meant to be hit by Galacta or Gwenpool. If we can do that, Brood is amazing. Fantastic on Brood is also likewise fantastic. Red Guardian is our one real control piece here. Just saying, I don't want to deal with Iron Man. I don't want to deal with things that go over the top of me. Surfer is Surfer in a Surfer list. It builds power. It's obviously best on Brood, but good on everything. We talked about Gambit already. Juggernaut is your late game lane stealer, saying I want to get a lane very quickly. So it does that amazingly well, letting you in a lane on the cheap. Hope gives you enough energy to ideally play 2 3s on turn 5, especially if not Fenris Wolf, so that's really nice. Gladiator, meanwhile, we talked about. And then Galacta is amazing for Brood and just good otherwise, while Gwenpool is ridiculous for Brood, but has more of a chance of missing. So I prefer Gwenpool right now, but I don't think there's a ridiculous difference between the two. All right, so ready? 25 and 5, that's 30 games with an 83% win rate with plus 78 cubes. That is almost 3 cubes on average. This one is a monster. This deck is a monster. I don't know what else to say. Again, I have not had a chance to play it myself personally, but Fudge did horrible, horrible things to the pre-infinite ladder with this deck. Turn 1 pass, turn 2 Fantastic over Surge over Fenris. Turn 3 we're going Galacta or Gwenpool over Hope over Gladiator over 2. Turn 4 Galacta or Gwenpool. Turn 5 Fenris and Juggernaut, Red Guardian or Brood. Those are generally the 3s you're working with. If you don't have any of the kill cards for Fenris, hopefully you saw Hope and you can go double 3, or Fantastic or Surge let you go double 3. Turn 6 we're going Gambit, Juggernaut, Brood, and Surfer. One of those 3 and Surfer. Don't be afraid to use Juggernaut on turn 5 in order to try and clog the opponent, and then you can try and win with like a Brood Surfer or a Gambit Surfer at the end. There's a lot of different combos like that. This one is kind of disgusting. Again, the stats on this are absolutely bonkers, wild stuff. So if you want to win some games of Snap, it sure looks like this game did that job. Before we go forward, since I'll be away especially, please check out the stream team playing these decks. Today is Thursday, so the King of Canada will be live at about 12 p.m. Eastern, playing some games of Marvel Snap. Go check out our friend playing these lists, please. Tomorrow, the Pirate King Tucker will have the same basic thing. Next up, we've got with Philly. It's from our friend Philip Rakovich, the only non-content creator in the video, but also a well-known community member who's been near the top of multiple tournaments. In Golden Gauntlet 1, he finished as the top spot out of the cut. He came in second in Snap Judgment League. He's won numerous of our King of the Hill tournaments. He was just in the finals of another Roram tournament against Derek. Just an absolutely fantastic player, and he's gone free to play out of protest for second in his business practices. So we made sure we had a deck for you that doesn't have Mr. Fantastic, because he's just going to be in everything right now. Instead, we have a Pixie Wolf. Gotta love some Pixie Wolf. This one is really weird, but it's very powerful. So we have Philly here. This needs Pixie, Kate, and Werewolf. Red Guardian can be Rogue. We're mostly trying to stop Iron Man type cards. And Nihilus can be Lady of Deathstrike or Mercury, and Merlin can be Viper. Okay, so Yellow Jacket is here. It's basically an on reveal that can move Werewolf on the cheap. It's decent with stuff like the Void and Hood, but it's amazing with Nico turning into a demon, using it to draw cards. All that kind of stuff is really great. The other thing that Yellow Jacket really does is it gives a 0 for Pixie in the list. So if you can get a 0 cost whatever, like any other card for 0, is absolutely incredible. So that works very well. And then if you're going to Valkyrie a lane, like you just need to fill the lane, Yellow Jacket is free, so it could be the cards used to Valkyrie. So it's just got all these different uses as this utility card. Hood has 2 uses. A, you can send it over with a Nihilus, you can transform it into 2 with Merlin, you can Valkyrie it, whatever, but it also really helps you lose priority, and you really don't want to have priority with Valkyrie in your deck. Nico handles the Hood. Yellow Jacket draws off Pixie, turns Pixie into a demon. Generally, just the best tech card around. Pixie messes up, obviously, the turn by turn that we're going to talk about momentarily, but she's absolutely incredible here. You can just do all sorts of crazy things, like Sentry and Nihilus on one turn. Just bonkers stuff happens when you have Pixie. Let's skip ahead for a moment. Pixie works best with Mobius, meaning that you always get the better of the 2 costs. It works very well. Kate is here largely because it moves Werewolf, although those extra 1s are decent for Valkyrie. Merlin is your backup way to get rid of the Hoods, to get rid of your Void, all that kind of good stuff. So you have Merlin to take care of that stuff. Also, Merlin spells move Werewolf without taking up deck space. Red Guardian is your Iron Man answer. Iron Man's one of the only ways to mess this deck up. Werewolf gets a ton of power, while Sentry is also just really, really solid power. Valkyrie wins a lane, basically. You basically Valkyrie, and you can still play a demon to win that lane, but if you really need to go over the top, you can Valkyrie and just let Werewolf end up in that lane, and like that Werewolf will usually win at that point. And then Nihilus is your backup plan for your Sentries and your Hoods. Their goal is to sort of win one lane with Valkyrie and then win another lane with Werewolf or with like sort of Sentry and Demon type stuff. You should be able to go over the top of quite enough stuff to win games of Snap that way. This one went 20 and 9, 69% plus 39 cubes. Turn 1 Hood, Nico if you have a good spell. Turn 2 is Pixie, who can be a snap depending on your hand, over Merlin, over Kate. Turn 3 we're going Werewolf or Mobius. Mobius is a snap if you play Pixie. Werewolf is a snap if you have Merlin or other good on reveals. Turn 4 we want Sentry or 2/2s. We generally want to go Sentry if we can, especially if we have either Nihilus, Valkyrie, or Merlin. Turn 5 we're going Nihilus or on reveals to remove the wolf. Then turn 6 Valkyrie in 1. That could be a demon, it could be an on reveal, it could be lots of stuff. That could be a Yellow Jacket, a demon somewhere, and a Valkyrie. That kind of thing is perfectly fine too. This deck is completely wild and out of the ordinary. Again, we got some really, really cool decks hitting Infinite all on day 1 for you to try out here. Hopefully you enjoy it, my dear friends. Our question of the day is from Unbroken Chain. 2 limited time game modes in July or no? I've heard both, and the second interval video mentioned 1. Plus 1 limited time mode is too many after back-to-back modes in the June season. Thanks. So there are going to be 2 modes in the coming July season, in the ongoing July season. To the best of my knowledge, I think the cards are coming in the second one, but I could be wrong in that, so don't hold me to it. But to the best of my knowledge, the cards will be coming in the second one. The first one will just be hopefully be like a fun distraction type thing. So like we're assuming, because 1 is voltage, right, that there's not going to be some crazy like grind for that. Voltage is usually fairly laid back. It's not overdrive, it's just regular voltage. So if they keep voltage to normal and it's short, and like we should be perfectly fine to have this nice little mode and then move back onto our usual of like a longer, grindier mode, the new mode, which we need more information for, but seems amazingly excited. It's the only mode ever where they're giving us like pre-built decks, so even if people are earlier collection level, they can do cool stuff. So all that seems really good to me. I'm ultimately, I've come around on the 2 modes per month. There's a lot they're doing I don't like, but I think generally my sourness on the 2 modes per month was my sourness at them in general, and as I've thought about it more and calmed down a bit, I am fairly positive on just like one casual mode and then more grindy mode per month, if that's the way they end up doing it. Certain tier support on our Patreon come with on air thanks. We got to say thank you to a bunch of people, starting with Jonesy Snap 22, our patron of the month. Please check out Jonesy Snap 22 on YouTube. Thank you to Abigail Houston, Mandatory Burnout, It Regardless, LAB, Inc. I am Frostbad. Check him out on Twitch. Hota Nevidete, Prime Ryan of the Prime Mind app, Ryanberg, Ryanwood Snap. Check him out on YouTube. Renwrench, Gopher Kev, welcome Gopher Kev, thanks for stopping by stream too. Keltor 33, hey Keltor. Kertixley, the King Questions, Koire, Kazushi, Archangel 3K, so many Ks now, K-Town trying to rival Real Name Town, Black Dahlia, Perfros, the Goat Seeker, and Code, our Alliance Leader group. Hallowed, Only Fox, Synth, hopefully you're doing well Synth, Fat Nick, Absolute Shannon, Nightmare, Dirty Casual, Mr. Kerfuffle, Cables, Gingy, Ginger Prime, Philly, Philip Brakovich, Haplo, Kenny Loggins of the Danger Zone, The Bizza, notoriously here with Black Jibs 23, XRSV and Skippy G, Rhyming Friends, Jessica Gamble, Jess, Mr. Slush Death, The Kinger Bros, The Great Kazoo, hey Kinger Bros, hopefully you're doing well by the way, Werewolf, didn't see you tonight, sad, but catch you soon hopefully, Kiv, Hoda, hey Kev, Clam, Colonel Forbin, hey Forbin, Rob Silverman, David G. Wingfield, Steven, Brian Kaufman, Tristan H. Martin, Jason B., Mr. Xteria, and Matt B., along with Corey, the Real Name Town, Corbin, John Q, and Jimmy Q, Q Town, You Stout, Eighth Sage, One Big Man, Milkman for Reals, Cactus, it's Cactus Jack, Reitzer, Steve O, 131, Yo Marco, Ted Pro, Good Pro Joe, Snapsis Joe, check out the Snapsis podcast, please, Bickety Boom Bot, Bricks, 2 Click, hey Bricks, Green Goblin, Unibot, V2, Flan, 56, Spectrumix, Root, Aku, Akelaris, Matt H, DJ, Mikey Ajax, no frickin' flex, Nick, The Greek Geek, Toxic, Soul King, Zodrex74, The King of Canada, JJ, streaming soon, check him out, 10 Man Falcon, Thor, Newman, hopefully you're feeling better, Newman, 2 Ties, who was an amazing host, the great Laura Debs of the Snap on this podcast, the Pirate King Tucker will be live on the podcast this week, should come out Sunday, I believe, and of course, getting T, the T stands for, I'm tired, this video's over, tomorrow's top 10 decks, I'll see you for that, thanks for hanging, peace.